it's time for you to grow in your level of faith with God. It's time for you to grow in your relationship with God. God is not your sneaky link. He ain't your sugar daddy. So you ain't got to treat him like he's some type of lame. Imagine you being in a relationship with your partner and you only go visit him on Sundays. You only come over and kick it on Sundays for a couple hours. Then you out. You got to go. You keep looking at the clock like you got to go. You got other stuff to do. You don't call on them throughout the week and check on them. But yet you expect gifts and love, and you want things given to you, but you're not giving to your partner, right? So how can you go and ask for prayer and then get mad if your prayers don't get answered because you treated somebody less than? You treated God worse than a sneaky link. At least you got your sneaky link on your mind throughout the week. I'm just saying. But you don't got God on your mind throughout the week? You ain't hit God up and called him? You want to use the excuse that you don't know how to pray? Talk. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you're going to talk to them, right? And that's how you learn to build your prayers up, by learning how to talk to them. How can you ever love somebody in a relationship if you don't love who first loved us? You don't love our Creator. You don't love our Father who is in heaven. Who are you? But you say you love your friend, your brethren, right in front of you. Clearly you don't. You don't cook for him. You don't invite a man to your house. You don't do anything. You go to him on Sundays, every Sunday for a couple hours just to hear something you want to hear, because you trying to hear if you got a blessing coming on the way, or you really may need prayer, but you only going on Sunday and to get your prayers answered. And that's it. Where they do that at? Oh, it's cool if you do it, but it's a problem when God do it to you. Okay. Yeah, some of that. That's not how it works. He wants more of you. He requires more of you. If your spouse didn't come home for a week, you're in a relationship with somebody, and they didn't come home for a week, only on Sundays, just to come eat that good word or that good food, quote unquote, and then you out the door. And I see you next week. I might see you on Wednesday if I choose to go to Bible study or prayer. But that's it. I might stop through for a minute. That ain't how it go. You're supposed to have them in your life every moment of the day. Talk to them every moment of the day. Stop picking up the phone trying to call your friends. Stop picking up the phone trying to call so-and-so and tell them what's going on in your life. All they're going to do is gossip anyway. Why are you allowing your flesh to take over? You got to listen to music. You got to be on the phone. You got to watch television. You have to spend time alone. You don't even like yourself. You don't even like your own self. So I know why you don't like God, because you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself enough to spend time with you. You're not listening to your own thoughts. You're listening to the thoughts of somebody else. When you turn the music on, you listen to the thoughts of that person that's singing that song, giving that speech, or whatever. Spend time alone. Know who you are. You have to learn who you are. When you don't do and reciprocate those things, how can you expect to be blessed with something? Your prayer is probably not getting answered because you won't turn from your wicked ways. You still want to go kick it. You still want to go to the club. You still want to drop them kids off. You still want to go out on dates and figure out who your soulmate is. You looking for a soulmate. What's a soulmate? Huh? We all got souls. But how do you show up in a relationship 1 to 3 times a week? When you dating somebody and you getting to know them, if they giving you all their time, calling you on their break and calling you throughout the day and texting you and saying, hey, baby, what's up? You was on my mind. guess what? You're going to feel so good inside. You willing to do anything for this person because they are showing you time, love, and attention. God want to give it to you too. That's who you should be first in your relationships because that should trump your household. How do you want to get married, but you won't let God be the leader of your own life personally without a person or a soulmate? We don't even pay attention to how we treat other people because a lot of times we are treating other people in our lives the very way that we don't want to be treated, but we don't want like it done to us. So you have to go within and you have to learn how to change who you are as a person. Change your character. Don't you want to be viewed highly? Because they're going to talk either way it go. Wouldn't you rather be viewed highly than lowly? Stop thinking so low of yourself. You better than that. So many people in relationships done tore you down and made you feel bad and tried to diminish who you are. That ain't who you are. You gonna accept what they said? They projecting because that's how they feel about they self. Don't you accept that? You ain't gotta accept nothing nobody give you. If you don't want something, why would you accept it? Why would you receive it? Huh? It's time for you today to treat God like he is your spouse. God is the head of your household. It's God, the spouse, the kids, and the family. Okay? But you have to learn how to put it in that pecking order. That's the only way it's going to work. You're going to constantly face the same things over and over and over again, the same lessons that you got to learn over and over and over again if you don't put God as the head. How many times have you had to learn a lesson? How many relationships have you had to go back to just to learn a lesson? Let me start there. If you went back to a person and it didn't work out, did you learn the lesson the second time? I've been in a lot of relationships like that. You go backwards and it don't work out. But it was a lesson in it for you to learn because you didn't learn it the first time you was in that relationship. Don't be a bad person because he gonna have to bring you to knee, okay? So don't try to be slick with it or try to be fake with it like you really want to be with somebody, because you know how some of y'all do. Some of y'all get in these relationships and act like y'all really want to be in a relationship and want to go further, want to get married. You get what you want out of a relationship and then you like, what's the reason to marry? Ain't no reason to marry. For what? I'm getting what I want now. You know that old saying, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? That's how you trying to pimp God. Like you trying to pimp people. Oh, you about to be set up for your own demise. You don't realize who you playing with. I seen this book years ago that was like further than I meant to go, longer than I meant to stay. The title alone was so catchy because I was experiencing that in my life where I went down the wrong path and I had to find my way back to my starting point in order to get on the right track. And that's probably where you are right now. You probably so far gone down the wrong road that you have to turn around and come back. And when I say turn around and come back, what I mean is you have to turn around your life. You have to give yourself completely. You have to submit to the Lord. You have to learn how to let these things that's inside of you come out that don't supposed to be there. You are allowing your flesh to take over your spirit, man. Okay? You're supposed to feed the spirit daily. That's a relationship. I don't care what type of relationship it is. Feed the spirit daily. That means you got to show up. He don't got to show up because he already here. He already right here with us. But you got to show up now. He waiting on you. What you gonna do? This is a confirmation to get you to move. Move on the right track. Your conversation is pointless. The gossip you doing is pointless. The clubbing you doing is pointless. Well, you experienced it too. I hear some of y'all. I hear you. You went out clubbing and you did this and did that. Yes, I did. I sure did. I did it and I stopped and I said, what is the point? You got to spend money before you even get to the club. What did you successfully get? A drink? A headache. One thing I always said after the fact, I was like, you know what? I never want a man that go out to the club and kick it. And I don't want to meet a man in the club because that's most likely what he does. That's who he is. And I ain't about to try to keep pulling him up out of the club. I don't want no man like that. You spend all of this money for what? You haven't gained anything. You could have turned that money into more money. If you'd have did your little hustle, whatever dream you had or whatever vision you got that you want to make prosper, you could have spent that money on that. I didn't learn my lesson for years. So that's what I'm telling y'all, because I want somebody to catch it now. They don't have to go through that experience for years. I'm not trying to tell you because I did it and I don't want you to do it. Me spending $150 a weekend just to go kick it. $150 that I could have took and invested in something else that would have paid me back. When you struggling and you really want your prayers to be answered, and you call out to God and you cry out to God, he begins to answer your prayers. He begins to show up in your life because he was right there all the while. But he wanted you to ask him. Half of y'all get in these relationships, you're like, I ain't asking a man nothing. If he don't see that I need, he know what I need. I ain't got to ask nothing. And that's exactly how y'all treat God. Like, you ain't supposed to ask for what you need. He already know. No, open your mouth. Closed mouths don't get fed. Open your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Y'all will go seek something. Y'all will go knock and the door will open. But y'all going and knocking on dudes' doors and girls' doors trying to see what they doing. Your head is in the wrong place right now. And this ain't the season or the hour to be sitting up there playing around. Stop playing with yourself. That's all the person you playing with is yourself. Because guess what? Babies is born every day and people die every single day. So if you ain't willing to do the job, just hang your coat up and just call it a day. But if you really want God to step into your life and make it right, turn your situation around, whatever it is, you have to build a relationship with him. You have to grow a bond with him. Begin to date him on today. Begin to go out and talk to him in solitude, in a safe place. Talk to him in a safe place. You ain't got to talk to him in front of people. Get away from people. Get away from distractions. Get away from the TV, the radio, and anything else that may distract you. Your cell phone, too. Because half of the time when y'all be on that phone, it really be on social media. It don't even be on the phone for real. But you have to step away from that. Even if it's a 5 minutes. Just show up.